All right, hey everybody, and welcome. We're diving into something a little bit different today.
Oh.
Yeah, a music review.
Interesting.
It's for a new single called Everything is Legal by this band Oreaganomics.
Okay.
And just reading through this review,
Yeah.
I am getting chills.
Wow.
So get ready because we are going to unpack how this band, they blend ska and soul and art rock into this sound that is just...
Interesting combination.
Yeah, captivating and really makes you think.
Yeah, I'm looking at the review here, and the way they describe Oreaganomics is pretty powerful.
Ooh.
Yeah, they're not just making music. It seems like they're making a statement.
I like that.
Yeah, the reviewer says they will not be silenced. And that their music is a testament to the potency of protest songs. So clearly not afraid to tackle some tough topics.
Well, it sounds like they're tapping into this rich history of artists using music as a platform to protest.
Exactly.
What kind of parallels do you see there?
Well, think about how music has always reflected the social and political climate, of the times.
Yeah.
I mean, throughout history, artists have used their voices and their instruments to challenge authority.
Absolutely.
To speak truth to power, to inspire change.
Yeah.
And while I'm not going to drop any names just yet, let's just say that Oreaganomics is carrying on a very powerful tradition.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of powerful,
Yeah.
the reviewer calls Everything is Legal more than just a song.
Okay.
They call it a commentary on society itself.
Wow.
That they're holding a mirror to the contradictions that we see in our legal systems, politics, the fabric of society.
That's a pretty big concept.
A lot.
For one song.
Yeah, to tackle in a single song.
Absolutely. But what's fascinating is how they do it.
How?
Well, the reviewer talks about this warm, humming intro that draws you in before the rhythm kicks in.
Like a calm before the storm.
Exactly, like a calm before the storm.
Yeah.
And then there's this steady rhythmic groove that builds gradually, creating this feeling of mounting tension.
Yeah.
It's not a sudden outburst, it's deliberate escalation.
Yeah.
And that seems to perfectly reflect the song's themes.
I love how the reviewer uses the phrase organized chaos.
Oh, yeah?
To describe the instrumentation.
What do you think about that?
I don't know. What do you make of that?
It's such a brilliant way to capture the complexity of the sound.
Yeah.
Because it suggests a sense of structure and intentionality.
Okay.
But within that framework, there's this interplay of different elements.
Okay.
Maybe contrasting melodies or rhythms.
Yeah.
And they create this feeling of controlled chaos.
Yeah.
It's like they're mirroring the complexities of the issues that they're addressing.
Oh, interesting.
Things might seem chaotic on the surface, but there's often a deeper system at play.
Right.
Yeah.
And then they layer in
Yeah.
these melancholic, almost psychedelic overtones.
Yeah.
Interesting. On top of this driving rhythm.
Wow.
Along with the vintage warmth of the organ.
Nice.
It sounds like a really unique sonic landscape.
It does.
And that organ seems like a deliberate throwback to like classic protest music.
Such a clever touch. By incorporating those familiar elements of protest music from the past, they're creating a sense of continuity, reminding us that these struggles are not new.
Right.
They're weaving their message into a larger historical tapestry.
I love that.
Yeah.
All right, let's dive into the lyrics.
Okay.
The reviewer calls Everything is Legal, blunt and honest.
All right.
Saying it avoids any flowery metaphors.
Straight to the point.
Yeah, it just lays it all out there.
Yeah.
They say it exposes the uncomfortable truth about power dynamics and how those dynamics can often warp our sense of justice.
And that directness, that lack of sugarcoating is what makes this song so impactful.
Yeah.
It forces us to confront the uncomfortable reality that what's legal isn't always moral.
Right.
And they're highlighting that gap, that tension between what's allowed by law and what feels fundamentally.
Right. And it sounds like the frontman's delivery really drives that point home.
Oh, yeah.
The reviewer describes his vocals as spoken word, delivered with raw emotion.
Yeah.
Like he's not just singing, but living these words.
Wow.
That must be powerful to hear.
It really is. You can almost hear like the weight of experience in his voice, the frustration and the disillusionment of a generation that sees these injustices but feels powerless to change them.
Yeah, and it sounds like the music itself kind of enhances that feeling of shared disillusionment.
Sure.
The reviewer compares the song to an open letter.
Interesting.
Which I think is such a perfect analogy.
Yeah.
It's like they're reaching out directly to the listener.
Yeah.
Creating this sense of connection.
Yeah.
And solidarity.
It's almost like inviting us into a dialogue.
Yeah.
You know, a shared space where we can reflect on these issues and question the systems that perpetuate them.
And the way they blend the vocals and instruments adds another layer to that effect.
Oh, for sure.
The review talks about this raw, like live recording feel.
Yeah.
Like you're right there in the room with them as they pour their hearts out.
Totally.
They manage to balance the vocals and instruments perfectly so that neither overpowers the other.
Right.
And it creates this incredibly immersive experience.
That rawness, that sense of authenticity, it really resonates.
Yeah.
It's not overproduced or polished to perfection.
Right.
It's raw and real.
Yeah.
Which makes the message hit even harder.
Now, here's something I found really interesting.
Okay.
The song doesn't follow a traditional structure. The reviewer says there's no climax or resolution.
Interesting.
Instead, it's cyclical.
Okay.
Like history repeating itself over and over again.
Wow. What do you think they're trying to convey?
I don't know.
With that choice.
Yeah.
It's a weird move.
Yeah.
And I think it speaks to the feeling of being trapped in a cycle of injustice by denying us that sense of closure, of a neat and tidy ending.
Right.
They're forcing us to confront the uncomfortable truth that these issues aren't easily resolved.
Right.
They leave us with this feeling of unresolved tension that lingers long after the song is over.
Yeah, it's like they're saying, hey, this is the reality we're living in.
Right.
Don't expect a happy ending.
Exactly.
Which, when you consider that the album this song is on is called And Introducing Judge Shane.
Oh, wow.
It just adds another layer of intrigue.
Yes,
Who is Shane?
Yeah.
What role does he play in all of this?
Right.
It's a brilliant way to draw the listener deeper into their world and leave them wanting more.
Sure.
And let's not forget about the production itself.
Oh, yeah.
The reviewer uses the word secretive to describe it.
Interesting.
Which I find fascinating.
Yeah. What they mean by that?
I don't know. What do you think?
I think it speaks to their commitment to staying true to their vision.
Okay.
Even if it means operating outside of the mainstream.
Okay.
They're not trying to polish their sound.
Right.
To fit into a certain mold or make it more palatable for mass consumption.
Yeah.
They're intentionally going against the grain of the polished commercial music industry.
It's like they're saying, this is our art, and we're going to present it on our own terms.
Exactly.
Which, when you think about it, perfectly aligns with their whole approach to music as a form of protest.
Exactly. They're not interested in sugarcoating anything or making it easier to digest. They're challenging listeners to confront uncomfortable truths, to engage with the complexity of these issues, and to question the systems that perpetuate injustice.
It's like they're handing you a magnifying glass and saying, look closely, this is the world we're living in.
Right.
What are you going to do about it?
And that's what makes the song and Oreaganomics music in general so compelling. It's not just entertainment. It's a call to action. It's a spark that ignites critical thinking and hopefully inspires social change.
I love that.
Yeah. It's what they're saying. This isn't, polished mainstream music. This is real visceral emotion straight from the underground. It adds another layer to the whole thing.
Totally. And it just, it aligns with that whole approach of music as protest.
Exactly. They're not trying to sugarcoat it, make it more palatable. They're challenging you.
Confronting you.
Yeah, to confront those uncomfortable truths. Engage with the complexity. And really question those systems.
Absolutely.
That perpetuate injustice.
Like they're handing you a magnifying glass and saying, look closely, this is the world. What are you going to do about it?
And that's what makes this song and Oreaganomics in general so compelling.
Absolutely.
It's not just entertainment. It's a call to action. It's a spark for critical thinking and social change.
So to wrap things up, if you're looking for music that's both sonically captivating and intellectually stimulating.
For sure.
Oreaganomics is definitely a band worth checking out.
Absolutely.
Their new single, Everything is Legal, is a powerful protest anthem.
It is.
That will leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about the world.
It really will.
And as always, we encourage you to listen for yourself. And draw your own conclusion.
For sure.
Music is a powerful force.
It is.
It can spark conversations, challenge assumptions, and ultimately inspire change.
Big thanks to Dulaxi.
Yes, thank you, Dulaxi.
For making this deep dive possible.
Absolutely.
Until next time, keep exploring.
Keep questioning.
Keep the music playing.